everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing another Shop My Stash haul where I go through and I create a makeup bag to use throughout the month of December. And it's basically so I can go through things in my collection and use them and give you an opinion on the end of the month. Obviously some of them are things that I have done like first impressions on or reviews of before. But it's also just to, you know, kind of rotate through my makeup and make sure I'm using it all. So let's get into this video. Let's talk about all the things that were in my November Shop My Stash. Alright guys, so November Shop My Stash, I had 3 eyeshadow palettes that I decided to focus on for the month. And honestly, I still kind of feel like maybe I had too many eyeshadow palettes to work with. Or maybe I just limited myself on the color ranges of the eyeshadow palettes. The 3 eyeshadow palettes that I did choose from were the Pure Raw Beauty Kristi collaboration, the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette, and the ABH Subculture palette. And I chose all 3 of these because they really reflect like that fall eyeshadow look. And then well, maybe I was a little bit limited on myself because I realized that some of these eyeshadow colors, they really resemble each other, and maybe I should have gone with a couple of different eyeshadow palettes instead of, you know, same color stories. So here are this is the Subculture and the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. As you can tell, some of the color story is like definitely really familiar. The Too Faced Pumpkin Spice, though, it does come with some of those like pastel-y colors, and it also comes with some more like, it's not so much of a just one dark color story. And this one is mostly just like really dark. There's a couple of colors in here that are brighter, but this is just a really dark color story, and it all revolves around like the greens, the browns, and the burnt reds. And then we had the Pure Raw Beauty Kristi collaboration. So one side is neutral, the other side is colorful, and I mostly dipped into the neutral side. I didn't even really get to dip into much of the colorful side. I found myself constantly reaching for the Pumpkin Spice palette more than anything. There were some great looks that I created with the Pumpkin Spice palette, and one of them was using, let's see, what shade was it? It was Fall Vibes, and I literally just like put this all over my lid, and I used this in one of my videos. I will show you guys like a picture for you, but I did use that one. I used this palette most of all. I think this one I got the most use out of because of the range of colors. It has pinks, it has oranges, it has greens, it has purples. This one was definitely the most fun to play with during the month of November. Whereas the Subculture palette, the only 2 shades that I really used out of this palette were the 2 foil shades. So the first one was Electric, which this is like a duochrome shade, and I absolutely love it. So pretty is like a one and done. And then the other one was Adorn, this color here. That's also a one and done shade. Both are very gorgeous. The mattes are a little bit harder to work with in this palette, but honestly the foils are what I was going for in this palette. That's all I used. And then obviously with Raw Beauty Kristi, like I said, I mostly stuck to the neutral side, but I barely dipped into this thing at all. So definitely for my next Shop My Stash rotation, we are not going to have this many eyeshadow palettes in here. Actually, I already have it planned out what I'm going to use. So as far as highlight goes, I had one highlighter palette, and then I actually found myself reaching for another one because I did a video that just recently aired on my channel about 2019 Beauty Guru favorites. Go check that out, but it was the Rach Loves highlighting palette, and all of a sudden I started using that one again, and I was like, I'm supposed to be using the Essence one, and I was not using it all that much. What is wrong with me? So this is the Essence Pure Nude highlighting palette. It comes with 4 shades. One's pink, one's more yellow, and then you have some like champagne goldeny undertones here. It is a very nice highlighting palette. I'm actually wearing it today. I love that it comes with a full mirror. I love that it has all these shades, and I actually use this a lot like what I do with the Layers highlighting palette from Rach Loves. I was actually layering these top 2 shades a lot when I was using it, and it's a very subtle highlight. If you wet your face and then you put the highlight on, it makes it a little bit more bright and out there. But at the same time, like, it's just like a lit from within glow. It's not a very striking, like, right there pop-in highlight like the Rach Loves collab is. But I did really enjoy using this highlighting palette. I think I'm going to keep it in rotation for December because I do want something that looks a little bit more natural for the holidays. I don't need something super over the top, and I wasn't able to really play with this that much. So we are going to keep this one in my everyday makeup bag, my Shop My Stash. All right, for blush, I had a new She Glam blush, and this one is in 04 Brick Red. These are on the She Glam website for, I think, $2 or $3, and they are very pigmented. They have a great color payoff, and they are long lasting, and the packaging is just super, super nice. Like, look at the packaging on this. Like, that's very nice packaging. Now the color itself, it did definitely suit for the fall season. Like, look how dark that blush is. Now, every once in a while, I did find it was a little bit too pigmented for my style, so I started reaching into and layering with a black radiance. This is Toasted Almond. So I started layering these two together. They both have the same undertone and the same color, but Toasted Almond is a little bit more muted of a tone, and it is a baked blush. So it takes a little bit more to kind of like build it up. But if you do the two together, so this one is the She Glam, this is the Toasted Almond from Black Radiance, they make a really pretty, very pretty, like glowy look. I do like these two together, but the Brick Red one was super pigmented, so sometimes it was hard for me to work with. It made me a little bit too flushed. I don't know if I'm going to keep that one in or not. So I was working off of a couple of foundations this month. One of them, it wasn't really a foundation, it was a tinted moisturizer. It's the ColourPop Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer. As you guys can tell, there is hardly anything left in here. I'm down to my bare bones, and I have been using this more as like a primer lately before I put on, it's like, what do I use it as? It's like either I use it as a out of the shower moisturizer because it has hyaluronic acid in it, or I use it after I put on my moisturizer as a primer for the foundation. I actually found that these two paired together, they work really well. And so the hyaluronic acid must do something to help this stay on a lot better. So these two together, it was like a really nice, natural, dewy skin looking finish. But I was using this one mostly as a primer. I am so close to being done. Like, it is so empty. I hope you guys can see how empty this is. Like, it's just crazy how empty this is. So close to being done. So this is going to stay in my rotation, as well as the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is just one that I'm trying to get through. Actually, it has sunscreen in it at 25 SPF, and I'm like, do I really need to keep this in for December? I know I want to go through it, but at the same time, like, it's actually a little bit better to use in the summer months when I want more SPF in my foundation routine. So I think we're going to take this one out because I'm sick of using it, sick of trying to fiddle with it. And maybe when I introduce it, when my skin is a little bit more dewy and fresh, then I think maybe it'll work better. So we're going to take that one out. Speaking of primer, I was primarily focusing on this one. It is the Pixi by Petra Flawless and Poreless Primer. This one is so close to being done too. I've been literally like squeezing and squeezing and squeezing. So this one is going to stay in the everyday makeup bag. It basically just, it fills in your pores, and it's also a dewy finish. It's not a matte finish, but then it also has a little bit of a tint in it, so it gets rid of the redness in your face, and I really like this. Actually, there have been times where I've started my videos with just this on my skin, and I can see a difference between completely naked faced me and something with this primer on, and it makes a world of difference. It is so good. So this one we're going to keep in the bag. Then we have also the High Adherence Silicone Primer from The Ordinary, and this one, did I put this in my bag or did it kind of float back in? I don't remember. I love this primer because it's pore filling, it's moisturizing, and it literally just leaves my face feeling like this blank canvas to be able to put any kind of foundation to. So this one is going to stay in the bag as well. It is a $5, actually it's less than $5. It is a less than $5 face primer, and it is so good. You can get it at Sephora. They don't have it at Ulta right now, but it is really, really good. And yeah, it's going to stay in my makeup bag. I think it floated into my makeup bag, I want to say. Face products, I only had a couple of face products in here that were like powder, that were like the finishing powders or the bronzers, besides like all the blush stuff. So I'm trying to get this open here. One of these was it's my HD setting powder, and this is a white setting powder. It doesn't look like I've made a lot of progress on it, but I feel like I have made a lot of progress on it because I already had hit pan in this thing. I'm not going to repress it, but I really like this powder. What I like using it for is taking like a brush like so. This is the ColourPop F32, and you dip it in, tap off some of the excess, like, and then you will set your under eye, and look how it like brightens your under eye as well, because it is that white finishing powder. Very nicely milled, a very good powder, and I'm trying to finish this one up. I think I've gotten pretty far on it, like, you know, with the pan size, I feel like it's getting gradually bigger and bigger. We'll have to see. I mean, maybe I should start doing like a close-up for you guys so you guys can see here. As far as like a powder foundation that I've been using to completely like set the entire face before going in with like my bronzer and everything like that, I don't really use it for the under eyes because it is a little bit dark for that area. But this is a Unique Cosmetics powder foundation. I've been trying to finish this one, and it's in the color Crepe. It's their new formula. I actually liked their old formula a lot better. I do not purchase from them anymore, but this is one of my favorite powder foundations. Actually, the next one after I pan and get rid of this one, the next powder foundation I really want to try is the one from Ulta Beauty. If you guys have tried that one, please leave a comment below. I want to know your thoughts on that one. Is it good? This one, it is a really good like set your face type of foundation. I've used it as just foundation, where after I put on my tinted moisturizer, I put this on, and it creates a very like matte, flawless complexion, and it does cover up my blemishes pretty well. And when I use it as a setting powder for my face, it also does a great job of like evening things out. Now, Crepe is the lightest shade in their powder foundation collection, and I have found that this is still, it's too dark, so I have problems with the way that it sets on my face, so I have to be careful where I set it on my face. So it's still the lightest color in their collection, and it kind of like, if it's possible to say, but it does like oxidize on me, if that makes sense. Crepe is supposed to be a neutral undertone. It is not, and it's got more of a yellow cast in it, which I am a pink undertone, so I have to be really careful with this one. Probably why I haven't been using it as much as possible, but I've been trying to use it up. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I can't even show you guys because it's broken. Hopefully you guys can kind of see here. I have made so much headway with this. Even the pieces that were broken, like they're down to like little nubs because I use this bronzer absolutely so much. I love this bronzer. It is so good. Like, I have a feeling the part that's broken here is probably going to get used up really, really quickly, and then it'll look like I really hit pan. So I actually hit pan in my other butter bronzer, and then I dropped it and it broke. And now I have this one that I dropped and it broke, but we can still use it because the whole thing didn't shatter. But it is a very like buttery, silky smooth formula. It doesn't accentuate any of the pores. It gives you this really nice like bronzy, glowy, like, it's a very cool tone bronzer. This one is in the color Bronzer, but it literally just like, it gives you like that sun-kissed glow, and it doesn't help that it smells like a coconut. I have mentioned this bronzer so much on my channel over the past couple of years because it is my favorite. I use it all the time, and that's why it's in my everyday makeup bag. There is another product I don't know if I want to keep in my everyday makeup bag or if I want to get rid of it, and it is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, and this color is called, it's 540 Light, but it's actually a little bit dark for my skin tone, and with winter coming, I'm thinking it is probably going to be too dark for my skin tone. So I'm kind of scared to keep this in my everyday makeup bag. I'm going to keep it in for the December rotation because there's a foundation in here that's pretty matte, so maybe mixing them together will help, you know, use this up a little bit more. So we're going to keep this one in here. I do like mixing this with different foundations because it creates that dewy look, and it also creates like it like adds a little bit of dew to a completely matte formula, or if you add it to a really dewy foundation, I feel like it just kind of gives you like this lit from within glow, almost like, it's not wet, but it's like borderline wet. It's hard to explain. It's not like it's overly dewy, but it just adds that like added layer of moisture to my foundation. I also had in here, so this is my eyebrow clear brow tint thing, and it is from Deco Scarlet, and I have been loving on this thing so much that the brow tip is actually breaking. And with it breaking, I've been having problems with it clumping on my eyelash, my eyebrows. So here it is. As you guys can see, it is breaking really bad. I am gonna keep this in my everyday makeup bag, but instead of like pumping it and then using the comb, I'm gonna have to start using an actual eyebrow comb to put this in my eyebrows so that it stops gunking up on my eyebrows. Pretty sure there was a video I filmed the other day where I just looked really bad. Now let's get into the things that I want to add back into the bag. So we took out like foundation. I didn't even mention my concealer. So I forgot to mention my concealer, which is a first because usually I forget other things. So the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, this one has been used a lot. I don't know if you guys can even see here like how much I have used this concealer. Like I have used it so much over the past couple of months. It has become one of my favorite concealers because it gives that like dewy finish, and it also brightens, and it has that longevity to it. It has full coverage. Like it's everything you could want in a concealer. So this is a $6 concealer. Obviously it's drugstore. It is from e.l.f. I have used so much of it. I want to pan on it and I want to get rid of it. Like I'm excited about how much I have used. So we're going to keep this one in my bag as well. Now that we have kind of figured out what I'm keeping in the bag, we took out the eyeshadows, we took out some of the foundation. We're going to be adding back in one foundation. We're going to add in the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. This I actually tried in a Testing Beauty Guru's favorites, and this is a favorite of Rach Loves, and it is a favorite of Raw Beauty Christy. They mentioned it in their 2019 favorites. I ended up picking this up not too terribly long ago, but the first time I actually used it was in that video where I tested their favorites, and ever since then, I have been using this a heck of a lot more. I am wearing it today. That is the foundation I am wearing today, and it is a very flawless, like poreless complexion. It is very like complementary to my skin type. The only thing that I don't like about it sometimes is that it makes me look a little bit too matte. So that's why I'm thinking maybe adding the Skin Milk into the Pure 4-in-1. Maybe these two will make like a really good like full coverage yet dewy combination. And then for eyeshadow, I actually had a video feature on my channel about creating my very own holiday palette, and I took a lot of my singles and I pulled those to create my own eyeshadow palette for the holidays. And this is pretty much what I came up with. I added a little bit more than what was in that video. So we have some larger pan sizes here. They're also from Tara Moon's Cosmetics, and this is what I am primarily going to be working off of for the month of December. P.S. Look at that packaging. Like, look at that eyeshadow palette holder. I got it from Shop Miss A, and it's really cute. If you guys are looking for empty eyeshadow palettes, go on to Shop Miss A. I think they were a couple bucks, and they sell out really fast because they're just like, the packaging is just so cute, and they're really good quality. So, side note there. I will be using these eyeshadows for the holiday season. There's actually one other thing that I want to add in here that I thought last minute that I need some glitter. And there's some glitter shadows that I have that are from Lorella Cosmetics. They are dupes for the Stila glitter shadows. I have I have 5 of the Lorella liquid glitter shadows, and let's just say that like their packaging is like amazing. Like I wish I could show you guys like how gorgeous this is. It looks a lot like the Stila glitter shadows. We're gonna pick out a shadow from the collection of shadows that I have to be used for the month of December. And I mean, like, you can't have like holiday season and holiday eyeshadow palettes without a little bit of glitter. So I've been thinking, there's 2 that I really love. The first one is called Donatello, and this one is it's a very gold undertone. Super pretty. I do really like that one. And then we have Goals, and I think I've used Goals before, and this is just, it's so pretty. I think we're gonna stick with Goals because it has that silvery undertone that I usually go for. So I want to show you guys what Goals looks like. They're very good dupes for the Stila glitter shadows, if you ask me. They aren't necessarily opaque. They are a little bit translucent, but they are so pretty. They have like the perfect amount of glitter in them. And the set, I don't even remember how much the set was. So that one was Goals, but oh, this one's really pretty too. The one that is Glory, which is like a gold undertone, it's like a bronze, that's really pretty too. Very reflective, very metallic, very glittery. There is one that's like a bronze color and it's called Donatella. And if I remember it, this one was like my favorite. Oh yeah, that's pretty. These are all just like so pretty, like, okay guys, so Donatella is this one here. I think we're gonna use Donatella, and then I also think we're gonna use Goals. I think those are the two that we're going to include in this month's beauty basket. I think they're gonna work really, really well with what I have. These ones are gonna go back for now, but we're gonna incorporate them in somehow. 2 liquid glitter shadows that resemble the Stila liquid glitter shadows. They're from Lorella. The first one is Donatella. The other one is Goals, and we're gonna add these to my everyday makeup bag. The eyeshadow palette that we are going to be using. It's so colorful and so pretty. There's tons of duochromes in here that I'm so excited to show you guys. And there's some really great pigmented foil shades in here. There are a couple of glitter shades in here from Beautonomy that I did pick out, but they are a different type of glitter than the liquid glitter. So keep that in mind. But a lot of these are just, they're so pretty. So here we go, guys. This is the eyeshadow palette I will be using for the month of December. Seriously, at first I thought about just using the Tati Beauty Texture Neutrals Volume 1 because I don't use it a lot, but I was just realizing like I had that in like one of my first Shop My Stash rotations like a couple months ago, and I had just built this palette to use for the holidays. And like you need to use it for the entire month of December. See how you like it, see how you like each individual shadow. Maybe I'll start building my own little palettes every now and then with single shadows. So a lot of these are from, some are from Terra Moons, some of them are from ABH, some of them are Beautonomy. Definitely go check out the video where I make my own holiday palette and you guys will see the shades that I put in this palette. Mascara is mascara. I'm just going to use whatever I have in my collection right now because I have been going through a lot of mascaras like crazy. And there were ones where it was just like a complete bomb, a complete failure. I did not like them at all. So right now I technically have 4 mascaras open and only 2 of them I really like. I have been using more of the CoverGirl Waterproof Peacock Flare Mascara, and I actually got a cleansing balm that helps get rid of this one. I don't use it a lot because waterproof formulas, they just really strip your lashes away. But I have been using that one a little bit. The Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara. The packaging is just so pretty on this one, but the mascara is not that great. So I've been kind of layering it with other mascaras, and then I have 2 here that are like Die Hard. I love these. They're really good. They just don't compare to the Essence Lash Princess mascara, like nothing does. And really, there isn't a lot in my everyday makeup basket this time, which makes me really happy. We only have 1 eyeshadow palette to focus on with all these shades in it that I have curated myself. So that makes me really happy. All right, so there it is, my everyday makeup bag. You guys kind of got an update on my unofficial project pan, and you guys know kind of like what I've been going through and my thoughts on those. So yeah, if you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I had a new She Glam blah 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 blah.